So hello everyone, how are you? So here I am going to discuss today about froth flotation process, and then we are going to see the leaching process. So there your most of the process are over. Then we'll go to the next topic like roasting, calcination. Clear? This chapter is very interesting. As soon as possible I'll complete this chapter, and after this I'll go with the polymers. So I hope you are enjoying, and this chapter is very easy, so not an issue. Only one important questions will come, that is Ellingham diagram that we will discuss in detail, and copper metallurgy and iron metallurgy, that will be over in a day. So not to worry with this topic. Clear? So today I am going to start a very important topic of the day, that is froth flotation process. Clear? Froth flotation process. This you have done in standard 10 also, yes or no? Because you all guys belong to the old course. So you are no, not you. I don't know. In standard 10 old course, not in CBSE, one who has studied the Gujarat board, at that time this froth flotation has come there also, but I don't know about you. Clear? So this froth flotation process is a very easy process. Okay, till today also this process has been used in number of industry applications. So first we are going to see the for whom it is used. So first point will come here, that this process is applied to extract means medvu, extract the sulfide ores only. Okay, means this process is only employed to which kind of ores? Sulfide ores. Okay, what is the principle involved here? So principle involved here is the oil particles, the sulfide particles are being wetted by oils, are being wetted by oil. I'll tell you. And gangue is wetted by water. And gangue is wetted by water. Means here, see, whenever you are putting the sulfide ore, so there are two things in that. One is ore and another one is a gangue. So the principle involved here is that the sulfide particles or the sulfide ores have one property, that sulfide ores will get stick to the oils and gangue will get stick to the water. So in this way I have separated gangue and ore. So for example, I am putting the sulfide ore. This sulfide ore will be with gangue, yes or no? So when I put this sulfide ore will get stick to the oil will form a froth. Oil will form a what? Froth. Froth matlab Gujarati bhasha ma feena. So oil will form a froth. Froth will be floating on the top. So oil will form a froth. So this froth will contain what? Sulfide ore, and this gangue will be with water. So in this way I have separated ores and gangue. This is only employed to the sulfide ore. So this is very important, that the froth flotation is only employed to the sulfide ores. Please remember this. Clear this part? So the example here, which kind of ores can be used, understood on this part? So which kind of ores can be used, that is either ZNS or PBS. Example we'll take, which kind of PBS, pyrites, yes or no? ZNS, PBS, pyrites like FeS2, CuFeS2. So this kind of ores will come to do this process. Clear this part? Okay. So now next. So here I told you that oil will be wetted by oil and gangue will be wetted by water. Gangue will be wetted by water. So for this what we are doing, we are taking one apparatus like this. We are not going to textbook, I guess. Okay, and here I am taking the water. I am taking here water. Yes or no? From here I am opening one opening to get out the gangue. Here I am taking the churni matlab chakeri farwa mate. Yes or no? So this will get rotate, and from here I will insert the air. Okay, First what I will do, I will put here gangue, I will put here sulfide ores. So sulfide ores plus gangue is inserted here. So when sulfide ore and gangue will come here, they will settle down at the bottom. And to produce a froth, I should require frothing agent also. So which frothing agent means je feena kare ene frothing agent kehavaય. So which are the frothing agent? The frothing agent are usually pine oil, fatty acids, yes or no? Pine oil, fatty acids, or you can say camphor oil, etc. Okay. So when the air is blown here, in this, so here there is a particle, yes or no? Here there will be particle. So when the air is blown, this is churned. First this is churned, then air is blown. When air is blown, so what will happen? You know, here froth will be produced. This froth contain what, beta? This froth contains sulfide particles, and here gangue will be there. So this is the froth containing sulfide ore, and here there is a gangue. So here gangue is separated, and from here there is another pipe where the sulfide ore is separated. So here I will get sulfide ore. Yes, sir. Clear this part. So in this way I will separate the sulfide and gangue. Okay, so now what happened? Suppose, see, as you know, the froth is lighter in nature. Froth is very light. Yes or no? Froth is very light. So it will float on water. Yes or no? So it will float on water. So what happens, you know, when the churned is there, so these all particles will get mixed together, and when air is blown, so froth starts to produce. So this is a suppose froth bubble. With this bubble, what will happen, you know? With this bubble, the particles will get stick. Which particle will get stick? The particles of ore will get stick. With this froth, this is a froth bubble. The froth bubble છે એના ભેગા ઓરના પાર્ટિકલ ચોટી જાય. કેમ ભાઈ? ore will stick with oil. So this froth are of an oil. So this is a froth of oil. With this froth of oil, ore will get stick. And when ore will get stick with this froth will come on the top and it can be removed. Now the question comes, this froth also should be stabilized. એવું થાય તો કે ઉપર ફ્રોથ આવે, ફીણો ઉપર આવે ને ફીણો ફૂટી જાય ને પાછું નીચે આવી જાય, તો ઓર તો નીચે રહેશે. If see here, ore is getting stuck with this froth is coming on the top. So this froth should be stabilized. થોડીક વારમાં ફ્રોથ રહેવો જોઈએ. એવું થાય તો કે ફ્રોથ બને ઉપર આવે ને પાછું બબલ ફૂટી જાય, તો જે પાર્ટિકલ ઓરની જે પાર્ટિકલ ફ્રોથ સાથે ચોટેલી છે એ પાછી નીચે આવી જશે. So this should not be happen. Understanding? This froth is forming one bubble, and with this bubble of froth, ore is stuck. This ore froth will go on the top. But as soon as if the froth containing this ore particle get burst, this ore particle will come downside. So I should produce such a kind of a froth which I should produce a stable froth. કે આ ફ્રોથ હોય કેવો હોવો જોઈએ? સ્ટેબલ હોવો જોઈએ. So for that I am adding certain stabilizers. I am adding what? Certain stabilizers. So what is the requirement of a stabilizer? Understood? If a froth containing sulfide particles, the froth will contain sulfide particles. Now this froth will come up to float on the water. If froth is not stabilized, suppose the froth will come on the surface of the water. As soon as it comes on the surface of the water, and if the froth bubble get burst, so the particles which are touched with the particles which are stuck to that froth will also falls down. So again these particles will fall down, but I need the sulfide particles. So I should assure that the froth which is generating here that should be a stabilized froth. So for that I am adding the stabilizers. For that I am adding what? Stabilizers. Which kind of stabilizers I am adding? So see, these are the frothing agent I told you. Now I am adding the stabilizers. The stabilizers are aniline and cresol. So these are the two compounds which we call as a froth stabilizer. This will stabilize the froth. So these are the froth stabilizer which will stabilize the froth, which will not allow the froth to get burst, so that the particles should remain stuck. So these are the stabilizers which will stabilize the froth so that it can be easily skimmed off. Clear this part? So we are adding the froth stabilizers. Clear this part? Now what happened? Now you see next point. This ore is stuck with oil, and this in gangue is stuck with water. Means this ore has to be repelled repellent with water? Yes or no? Repellent with water. और के ने गम और ने कौन गमे छे भाई? ऑयल ने गैंग ने कौन गमे छे भाई? वॉटर. मतलब और ने वॉटर थी दूर राखવું પડે. मतलब और ऑटोमेटिक वॉटर थी दूर રહી છે. તો હજી और ने वॉटर थी दूर જાજુ રાખવું તો જલ્દી ઉપર ફ્રોથમાં આવશે. ઓર ને ઓઇલ ગમે છે તો ઓર જે છે ઓઇલ ને સ્ટક થઈ જાય છે. ગેંગ ને વોટર ગમે છે તો ગેંગ વોટર સાથે સ્ટક થઈ જાય છે. પણ હું હજી કંઈક એવી વસ્તુ કરું કે જે ઓર છે એ વોટરથી દૂર જ રહે. જે ઓર છે એ વોટરથી દૂર જ રહે તો હંમેશા માટે ઓરને વોટરથી દૂર કરી દઈશ તો જેટલી બધી ઓર હશે અહીંયા જરા પર ઓર રહેશે નહીં. બધી ઓર કેમ આવી જશે? ફ્રોથ ઓઇલના ફ્રોથમાં. તો એના માટે હું એડ કરું છું કલેક્ટર્સ. શું એડ કરું છું? Collectors. Collectors are one which will keep away the ore from the water always. The collectors are one which will keep the ore away from the water always, or which will keep the ore repelled to water. मतलब ore અને water ના વચમાં repulsion વધાવી દેશે. કોણ? collectors. તો collectors કોણ છે ભાઈ? xanthates, sodium and potassium, ethyl sodium and potassium xanthates. Please remember this. So what is the role of collectors? The role of collector is to keep repel water and ore. Is to keep repel water and ore. Example are sodium and potassium, ethyl xanthates. Sodium and potassium, ethyl xanthates. These are the collectors. So this, what is the role of these collectors? The role of collector is to keep repel water and ore. Clear this part? Are you understanding? Which are the frothing agent? The frothing agent are pine oil, fatty acids, camphor oil, any oil, fatty acids. In short, you should have a fatty acid because all oil contain fatty acids, so that they will produce the froth. You can use the soap also. Soap is also containing the fatty acids. So you can use the soap also, shampoo also, that all are the fatty acids. So that are nothing but your frothing agent. Froth is very light and it will float on the water. And after that story I told you that with a froth particle, the sulfide particle is getting stuck with the froth particle. So froth particle will come on the top. But while coming on the top, and if it get burst, so all the ore particles which is stuck to that froth particle will also settle down at the bottom. So we should make assure that the froth which is generated should be stable froth. So for that we are adding the stabilizers, aniline cresols. Clear? Now I have seen that ore is not stucking to get water, means ore and water has a far distance. So this distance I can increase more far by just adding the collector. So this help. What will happen to collectors? The collectors means they will easily, it will help to easily collect the ore because they will make more repulsion between ore and water. પહેલાથી આ બે રિપલ્શન જ છે પણ આ કલેક્ટર્સ હજી વધુ રિપલ્શન કરશે કના વચમાં ઓર અને વોટરના વચમાં so that I can get easily the ores. That collectors are what? Sodium and potassium ethyl xanthates. Clear this part? Now what will happen? Now there is a one very important thing. This much you understood this? Okay, write down this. I'll give you the notes, not an issue. I'll give you the notes. Okay, but this is very important, huh? Now we are going to discuss a very important topic which is usually asked in the competition exam, that is activating and depressing agents. Okay, what is that? We are going to see this now. Done this part? Chalo, I am roughing this, huh? Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. Done, chalo. So see now what happens. See, sometimes what happen, you know, I am going to discuss about activators and depressing agent. First I am discussing depressing agent. Depressing agent. See, as the name indicate, depress. Depressing agent मतलब एक वस्तु ने दबावी देवो એટલે depressing agent. So see, what are depressing agents? Suppose I am using one ore, that is galena, that is PBS. With this PBS I am having the impurities of ZnS. So this is my ore and this is my impurity. So sometimes what will happen, you know, sometimes the sulfide ore also contains certain impurities. So this is a galena which is called as a PBS, and this PBS is having the impurities of ZnS. Now when I do the process, so as I told you, this froth will contain sulfide particles. So here the sulfide ore is PBS also and the sulfide ore is ZnS also. But this is impurity. I want only PBS. Then what to do? So at that time, these depressing agents will come. What will happen? Depressing agent are those one will depress one of the ore. Means if I use the depressing agent here, so that depressing agent will depress this ZNS. So this ZNS will form a soluble complex. It will remain in the solution, and this PBS will come on the top. So શું થશે ભાઈ? આ PBS અને ZNS છે, તો ZNS ઇમ્પ્યુરિટી તરીકે છે, તો ડિપ્રેસિંગ એજન્ટ શું કરશે? ડિપ્રેસિંગ એજન્ટ આવીને ZNS ભેગું રિએક્શન કરશે. PBS ભેગું રિએક્શન નહીં કરે, ZNS ભેગું રિએક્શન કરશે. ZNS ભેગું રિએક્શન કરીને એને સોલ્યુબલ કોમ્પ્લેક્સ બનાવશે, એના અંદરમાં જ રાખી દેશે, વોટરના અંદરમાં. તો બાકી શું રહીએ? PBS કેમ આવી જશે? ફ્રોથની ઉપર. So here clear this part. So here depressing agent we are using here is NaCN. This is the depressing agent. So what will happen? This depressing agent NaCN will react with this ZNS and forms a soluble complex. This is a soluble complex, ZnCN4 minus 2. This will remain in the solution. So this ZNS has gone. He has made the complex with NaCN. So this NaCN has actually depressed the ZNS, means this NaCN actually taken the ZNS from this 2 ore. Now remaining is what? PBS. When I will churn now, when I will blow the air, so froth will be generated. Now froth will contain what? Only PBS. So I have depressed this ZNS using depressing agent. So this is the role of depressing agent. But I need again back this ZNS. Now the PBS will be removed. Now in the solution is remaining is what? In the solution remaining is this. Now what I will do? I will use activators. What I will use? Activators. So activators role is what? Activators are those substances. So activators are those substances which will help to get the sulfide which are depressed. Activators are those substances which will help to get the sulfide ore which are depressed. Now here which sulfide ore was depressed? The sulfide ore was depressed was ZNS. Yes or no? It has converted into this soluble complex. So activators are like copper sulfate. So when this copper sulfate will react with this complex, again back I will get ZNS. So again I will churn it, I will blow the air, so froth will come on the top. Now in the second time froth will contain what? ZNS. This part. So depressing agent, when it is used? When 2 or more sulfide ores are used in this. So when 2 or more sulfide ore are used, so if you don't use depressing agent and you directly do the froth flotation process, so all the ores will come on the froth. So mixing of ore, no use. But I need only one ore. So here suppose I am using PBS and ZNS. So I need only PBS. So I have to depress the ZNS. So for depressing the ZNS, I am using the depressing agent. The depressing agent is what? NaCN, sodium cyanide. So this depressing agent will react with ZNS and forms a soluble complex. This will remain in the solution. Now it is what? PBS is there and this is the soluble complex. This will remain in the soluble complex. This is insoluble. When I will blow the air, froth will be generated. Now the froth will contain what? PBS I will move it off. I will skim it off. Now remaining is what? Now remaining is this complex. But I need my this ZNS. So I will use now activators. Activators is which? Copper sulfate. When I use the copper sulfate with this reaction, when I will use the activators like copper sulfate with this soluble complex, again back I will get what? ZNS. So I will get back here ZNS. Again I will froth it, I will blow the air. Now in the froth, ZNS will be obtained. So this is the role. So what is the role of activators? The role of activators is to get back the ore which is depressed. What is the depressing agent? The role of depressing agent is to depress or to depress. The role of depressing agent is to obtain any one ore out of 2 ore. Depressing agent role is what? To obtain any one ore in the mixture of ore. So this is the role of depressing agent. Here depressing agent for this we are using is sodium cyanide. Clear this part? Write down this much small you write down. For depressing agent you write down small note, other you can read from your textbook. Write down. Sometimes 2 or more ore containing sulfide, sometimes 2 or more ore containing sulfide can also be separated. For this, proportion of oil and water is properly selected. For this, proportion of oil and water is properly selected. And depressing agents are used. If NaCN is added, that is sodium cyanide. If NaCN is added as a depressant to the ore containing ZNS and PBS, to the ore containing ZnS and PbS, PbS can be obtained from the upper part from the froth. PbS can be obtained from the upper part from the froth, and ZnS doesn't come with the froth. And ZnS doesn't come with the froth because of formation of complex with sodium cyanide. Because of the formation of a complex with sodium cyanide. Write down this complex name, or you can write down in this way: Na2ZnCN4. Na2ZnCN4. Write down this complex, which is soluble in water. Okay. To get back ZnS, write down. To get back ZnS, activators like CuSO4 is added. To get back ZnS, activators like CuSO4 is added. To get back ZnS, activators like CuSO4 is added. Okay. Hence ZnS will froth. Now ZnS will float in the froth and can be get it off. Now ZnS તમને મળી જશે on frothing agent by blowing the air in the froth. Clear? So this was your froth flotation process. You can read from your textbook. Okay. Diagram you can make like this of diagram, something good. Okay. So from here I can move the gangue, and from here I can move the sulfide ore. From here the sulfide ore, it is washed it off, it is dried, and sulfide ore particles can be obtained. And then it is subjected to further processes. Clear this part? Chalo. So next we are going to see the leaching process. Okay, principle, it's very important. See here principle, what is there, you know? See here principle is the ore in this leaching, we are taking such a kind of a ore in which ore is soluble, gangue is insoluble. Understand this logic. Leaching process માં આપણે એવી રીતના આનો પ્રિન્સિપલ એ છે કે એમાં જે ઓર હોય સોલ્યુબલ થઈ જાય અને જે ગેંગ હોય એ ઇનસોલ્યુબલ હોય. So leaching process is what? So in leaching process ore is soluble, complex, so insoluble, soluble, and whereas gangue are insoluble. Write down. First write down. Leaching is done metal bearing particle, that is ore, metal bearing particle that is ore is soluble in particular solvent. Metal bearing particle that is ore is soluble in particular solvent, but gangue is insoluble. खबर पड़ी गई भाई. This is very important ना leaching. Number of time it has been asked in the exams. We are going to do the number of questions. So leaching is the process in which metal bearing particle, beta metal bearing particle मतलब हूँ ore. So in this type of a process ore is soluble but gangue is insoluble. Then also we can separate, no? When ore is soluble and gangue is insoluble, so separated, then soluble ore will do certain process, will get back ore, gangue is removed. So in this type of a process, in leaching process, metal bearing particle that is ore are soluble in particular solvent. So for different ore, different solvent are used. Means in short we are going to soluble the ore and the gangue is insoluble. So automatically the something is soluble, another thing is insoluble, so automatically it will be the insoluble substance can be removed easily. For example, if you are taking a sugar and sand mixture, when you put in the water, sugar will be dissolved and sand will be undissolved. So sand can be removed easily. And you take a sugar solution, when you do the crystallization of sugar solution, again back you will get the sugars. So in this way you are going to do this. So here the metal bearing particle that is the ore is soluble in particular solvent and gangue is insoluble. So when you do this process, so gangue will be removed. Clear this part? Okay, write down this. Okay, so here first we are going to see the process of aluminum. See here, first I will explain this, what you are doing. See, bauxite is a ore of aluminum. Yes or no beta? Bauxite is an ore of aluminum. The formula is Al2O3 into XH2O. So when it is obtained from the earth crust, it contains number of impurities. It contains number of impurities like Fe2O3, Ti2O3, impurities like, okay, so it contains number of impurities. It contains number of impurities like Fe2O3, Ti2O3, okay. Then next is SiO2, etc. Okay, so now we are going to do this process. So this bauxite is soluble in a particular solvent called NaOH. So here solvent we are using is NaOH. We are using here solvent NaOH. So what we are going to do? First we are going to take this impure alumina. So this is Al2O3 beta. Now which? This is impure. Yes or no? And this impure alumina we are going to react with sodium hydroxide at nearly 425 to 475 Kelvin temperature. 475 Kelvin temperature and 35 bar pressure. 35 bar pressure. So see here now. So we are taking this impure alumina and we are, as we know, in a particular solvent. So here particular solvent we are using is sodium hydroxide, say 6 to 8%. So when I use this 6 to 8% of hydroxide, so I am reacting this alumina which is impure, and impurities like is this what? These are the certain impurities. Yes, sir. So this impure alumina is made to react with this NaOH like 6 to 40% NaOH, I don't know, nearly 40% NaOH is made to react with this impure alumina at NaOH at 425 to 475 Kelvin temperature, 35 by pressure. I will obtain aluminate. What I will obtain? Sodium aluminate. Clear? Now that sodium aluminate is soluble. Now that sodium aluminate will be soluble. This aluminate is soluble, no? So it will form a soluble complex known as sodium aluminate, or just we say aluminate. That aluminate we will react with that carbon dioxide. Again we will react with the carbon dioxide gas. When we are reacting with the carbon dioxide gas, I will get aluminium hydroxide back. Yes or no? I will get aluminium hydroxide, and when I will heat or when I will do the decomposition of aluminium hydroxide, I will get back my alumina. Clear this part? So see what I will do, this I am taking impure alumina, Al2O3, I am reacting with what? NaOH. With this impure alumina, this impurity also will be present. So this also will be reacted, yes or no? So what will happen is this Al2O3 is impure NaOH, I will obtain here AlOH4 minus. This complex I will form, aluminate. Along with this Na will be there. So I am not writing this Na, or I can write down like this only. Simple I will write down AlOH4 minus will be generated. Aluminate ion. Aluminate ion. And this is soluble. But beta, with this, these are also impurities also present, no? So these impurities also will form the aluminate. The impurities will also form complex, but are insoluble. Are you understanding or not? So what will happen? Suppose there is silica. So this silica will also react with NaOH along with this Al2O3. At same condition, it will form silicon tetrahydroxide, silicates. But this is what beta? Insoluble. This is insoluble. Similarly, its hydroxide also will be insoluble. Similarly, its hydroxide also will be insoluble. But hydroxide of aluminium will be soluble. So the things which are insoluble will be removed and the things which are soluble will be regained. So aluminium hydroxide, that is aluminate ion soluble complex solution, I will get it. Are you understanding or not? Now this mixture, what I will do, this mixture, now this is skimmed off because this is insoluble, so I will remove this. Now this aluminium ion which is insoluble, I will further react with carbon dioxide. I will further react with what? Carbon dioxide. This aluminium hydroxide solution will be agitated or will be mixed with carbon dioxide. When I do this, I will get I will get aluminium hydroxide. I will get aluminium hydroxide plus H2O. Yes or no? I will get aluminium hydroxide plus H2O plus CO2, that is H2O plus CO2, or I will get here carbonate ion, HCO3 minus, like this. So what I am doing, see this is soluble, this is insoluble, so its hydroxide also will be insoluble, its hydroxide also will be insoluble. The things which are insoluble will be removed. Now I will contain one soluble solution. Now I will contain what? One soluble solution. In that soluble solution, I will start to blow carbon dioxide gas. I will start to blow carbon dioxide gas at a particular pressure. What will happen? I will do agitate. Agitate means I will mix it and I will add carbon dioxide gas. When I add the carbon dioxide gas, I will get aluminium hydroxide and this carbonate ion of weak acid. Now this aluminium hydroxide I will obtain. Now what I will do? I will take this aluminium hydroxide and I will start to do the decomposition at temperature nearly 1156 Kelvin, sorry 1475 Kelvin. So I will take now this aluminium hydroxide, I will take this aluminium hydroxide, I will start to do the decompose. When I do the decomposition, I will get what? Al2O3 plus H2O. This H2O will be removed and Al2O3 I obtained. So initially what Al2O3 I have added, it was impure and this is pure. So this is your leaching process. And this process was done by the scientist first time, scientist Bayer. That's why it is known as a Bayer's process. This is what your Bayer's process, nothing else. This is your Bayer's process. Clear this part? So initially what we are doing, we are taking the impure alumina, L2O, bauxite ore we are taking and we are reacting with what? NOH nearly 30 to 40% at 425 and 475 Kelvin temperature, 35 bar pressure. You are obtaining sodium, so you are obtaining aluminate ion. That is sodium aluminate. Yes or no? After that aluminum ion, in the second step what we are doing? In the second step we are seeing that this aluminate is soluble complex, but along with this impure alumina, there are a number of impurities associated with that, like silica, TiO2, Fe2O3. They also will form the hydroxide, but their hydroxide are insoluble, so they will be settled down at the bottom and solution, that is aluminum hydroxide solution, will be floating. So what I will do, the impurities I will remove and I will take pure aluminum hydroxide solution. Now in this pure aluminum hydroxide solution, I am blowing the carbon dioxide gas. When I blow the carbon dioxide gas at a very high speed and I will agitate. Agitate means I will mix it. When I will through mixing, when I add the carbon dioxide gas, I will obtain aluminum hydroxide and HCO3, that is carbonic acid. So I will obtain aluminum hydroxide. Now I will take this aluminum hydroxide and I will start to heat. Now this is insoluble, this is soluble. So this insoluble aluminum hydroxide I will heat at 1475 Kelvin, means I am doing the decomposition. So I will obtain Al2O3 plus H2. So there are totally three processes. In first process we are making sodium aluminate in first process from impure alumina. In second step we are making aluminum hydroxide, and in third step we are making alumina, pure alumina. So this was done by the scientist Bayer. That's why this name is Bayer's process. Clear this part? Write down this. If you read from the textbook, you will understand more. Three steps. First step, convert impure alumina to aluminium hydroxide using sodium hydroxide at 475 Kelvin temperature and 35 bar pressure. After taking that aluminum hydroxide, this is soluble complex and remaining impurities metal hydroxide will be insoluble. So soluble complex is reacted with carbon dioxide, is agitated with carbon dioxide, means mixed with carbon dioxide. So during that process we will obtain aluminum hydroxide. Now that aluminum hydroxide will be insoluble and carbonic acid will be soluble, the carbonate ion, bicarbonate ion. So they take that insoluble aluminum hydroxide and starts to heat, means do the decomposition at 1475 Kelvin. So you will obtain the Al2O3 and H2O. H2O will be removed as a gas. So remaining Al2O3 is pure and here Al2O3 is impure. So in this way I have converted impure alumina to the pure alumina. This process was done by Bayer's process. It is known as this process was first done by scientist Bayer. That's why it is known as a Bayer's process. Clear? And this is also called as a leaching process. Write down this, because leaching process says what? The metal bearing particle, this is the metal bearing particle, are soluble in particular solvent. So this Al2O3 is soluble only in NOH, not in KOH. So this is the leaching process. Here the metal bearing particle will be soluble and impurity will be insoluble. Clear this part? Write down this. Then next I will go to the leaching of gold and silver. Written? Chalo. So we will see the leaching of gold and silver. Write down, chalo. Here 2-3 points you write down. Leaching of, first we will see here silver. Write down. First we will see silver, then we will see the gold. Write down. Silver and gold exist as native state. Silver and gold exist in the native state. Write down please 2-3 points you write down. silver and gold exist in native state, they also exist as a silver also exists as sulfide, that is Ag2S. Silver also exists as a sulfide, that is Ag2S. We say as a silver glance, and it also exists, write down, silver glance, it also exists as a chloride, that is AgCl. We say as a horn silver. Clear? So here, write down, here the impure silver is leached. Leach means reacted. Here the impure silver is leached with NaCN solution. NaCN solution on passing the air through it. So here the impure silver is leached with NaCN solution on passing the air. During this, a complex of silver is formed. I will write down first. During this, a complex of silver is formed, which is made further react with zinc, which is made to further react with zinc to obtain pure silver. See the leaching process of silver. Now see, this is a silver Ag. Now beta, this is impure. So this is reacted with NaCN, sodium cyanide leaching agent, and here air is blown to it. Okay, and this is a NaCN solution, means which is solution beta? Aqueous solution, and silver is leached with in the presence of air. So when this, here the complex of silver is formed, and that complex name we will see NaAgCN2. Okay, so this complex is formed. Now what is the name of this beta? So this complex name, this is formed. Now what is the complex of this name? See here. When you separate this I have done, no? Na plus AgCN2 minus. So here Ag plus 2 into Cn equal to minus 1. Ag minus 2 equal to minus 1. Now Ag will be equal to minus 1 plus 2. So here Ag is 1 oxidation state. What is the name? Now see, whenever the metal comes in the anionic complex, we are putting the suffix as 8. Whenever the complex comes in an anionic state, we are putting the suffix as 8. So what is the name? Sodium tetracyano. Yes or no beta? Tetracyano argentate, because silverate, we should not say silverate, argentate. Remember, argentate 1. So this is the soluble complex. This is the complex formed in the first step of leaching of silver. Write down this. Easy, no? Okay. So this will be the complex will be formed, and plus NaOH will be formed here. Clear this part? Clear? Now what will happen, you know? Now in the second step, this complex is made to react with zinc. Now beta, you know, zinc is more reactive than silver. Please stop calling me a cute zebra. I too like her, because silver will come in the below. So this zinc is more reactive than silver. So this will split the silver, as it will split it silver. Matlab silver nam chuttu pade dese, and zinc complex will be formed. That is this Na2ZnCN4. This complex will be formed. So here silver I will get is pure. Here silver is impure. Clear? So what is the name of this beta? Sodium tetracyanozincate 2. So I will get the name here is sodium tetracyanozincate. So why does this reaction happen beta? Zinc is more reactive than silver. So by displacement reaction occurs, so silver will be removed. Now in place of silver, who will come and sit? Beta zinc. In the place of silver, zinc will come and sit. So silver will be moved and zinc will come here. So why this 2 is coming? Beta silver oxidation number is plus, silver valency is plus. but Zn valency is always +2. So due to valency of Zn is +2, that's why here 2 is coming. So this is the formation of complex in the second step, and this is the formation of complex in the first step. So this question can be asked in the exam. Please remember this. Another question also will ask in the exam. What is that question? I will tell you. Clear? Now this was the impure silver. Suppose I have used this. Done, no? Chalo. Suppose I have used this complex Ag2S. So first step, what I will do, I will take this Ag2S and I will react with NaCN. So this reaction is reversible. So silver sulfide reaction with NaCN is reversible. Complex will be formed is same, that is NaAgCN twice. Yes or no? Plus Na2S will be generated. So this reaction is reversible. So what is the problem here? To obtain this because I need this complex, because this complex is further made react with zinc. I need this complex, no? આ complex તો મને જરૂરી છે. કેમ ભાઈ? Because આ જ complex ને હું આગળ કેના ભેગું રિએક્શન કરીશ? ઝિંક સાથે રિએક્શન કરીશ ને, તો જ મને શું મળશે? Na2ZnCN2 plus Ag. Means I need this complex as soon as possible. But now this is a reversible reaction. What will happen? Initially Ag2S and NaCN will form this complex and Na2S. Again they will back form this. So what? According to Le-Chatelet's principle, I have to remove this continuously. મને આને continuous remove કરવું પડે. કેને continuous remove કરવું પડે? Na2S ને. અગર હું Na2S ને continuous remove કરું તો મને AgCN twice continuous મળશે. So what I will do? I will make react with this Na2S continuously. I will make reaction with this Na2S with O2. So this Na2S I have to remove continuously. So I will react this Na2S with O2 to form Na2SO4. Okay. So this Na2S is continuously made to react with this O2 to form Na2SO4. So remaining portion is what? NaAgCN twice. So reversible reaction will not occur now. Now this NaAgCN twice I will react with this zinc. Again I will get the pure silver. Right on this point. Right on this point. The reaction between Ag2S and NaCN. The reaction between Ag2S and NaCN is reversible. Hence, one of the product is removed continuously. Hence, one of the product is removed continuously. Therefore, Na2S is removed continuously. Therefore, Na2S is removed continuously by reacting it with O2 to form Na2SO4. By reacting it with O2 to form Na2SO4 by reacting it with O2 to form Na2SO4, so that reaction will not get backward. So that reaction will not go in a backward direction. Done this. Similarly, you can do for the gold also. See, this is gold. This is impure gold now. I will react with this NaCN. Okay, same with solution, that is water and O2. I will form here complex of a gold, that is sodium NaCN4 CN2, sorry. So name will be sodium tetracyanoaurate. Calculate the oxidation number of yourself. Okay, NOH. Clear? Now this complex again further I will react with zinc only, because better zinc is also more reactive than Au. So when I react this complex with zinc, as zinc is more reactive with Au, so this Au will be replaced to form here Au plus Na2. Why Na2? Because zinc oxidation number is 2, that's why Na2ZnCN twice. So this complex you can give the name of yourself. So this gold will be obtained, will be pure gold. Clear this part? So this is the leaching process of silver, gold and Bayes process. So please refer to it. See, these reactions are very important. Complex names are very important. Try to solve. If not, please let me know. I will do in the detail. Remember this. AgCl is simple reaction. You can do of yourself. But remember this for Ag2S. Ag2S reaction with NaCN is reversible. So continuous removal of Na2S is required so that the reaction will not go in the backward direction. That's why this Na2S is continuously reacted with O2 to form Na2SO4 to get NaAgCN twice continuously. Till this part. Thank you. Try to solve of yourself. Great day. Thanks.